All right, guys. So first off, I'll just ask. I gotta have the scene set a little bit. So first, when did you guys first meet S'more, and what were the circumstances?
You can if you want.
I'm the fire chief, Fairfield Bay. We were on a scene out. We were on a scene up on 110. House was pretty much burned to the ground, and the dog was in a kennel with part of the kennel stuck to his head. We kind of cooled down the dog and let him out, and the dog came right over to me and sat down. I was incident command running 3 different fire departments to extinguish this fire. And the dog came right over to me and sat down and was probably the best dog. You know, for being in the pain that thing was in, it was a very good dog. And, um, yeah, just incident commanded with me for a while, and then my daughter came, grabbed it, and started attending to the wounds, and then she called her.
Yeah, she had like a piece of plastic from the kennel stuck to her head, and then she had some pretty bad cuts on her feet, and she was pretty burnt.
Could you
Not
speak up
really.
for me or move a little closer to the
Here,
microphone? I'm
here
sorry.
now. No, you're fine. So she had like plastic burnt to her head that was stuck on there, and then she had some pretty bad wounds on her feet, and she couldn't really tell at the time, but there was some pretty big burns on the side of her chest and on her back and stuff. Um, she just looked a little bit swollen. We couldn't really tell at the time how bad her burns were actually until we took her to the vet. But yeah, I took her over to her afterwards and got her into the vet the next morning.
So when exactly did this happen? I thought I heard you say December.
December 19th, I believe. I think it was December 19th.
December 19th. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get to the serious question now. How's the dog? She doing all right?
She's doing great. She's doing absolutely wonderful. She definitely has her energy back. At first, we didn't know if she kind of was mopey her first couple days, which honestly I understand. But then about a month went by, and then she's like a completely different dog. She's crazy, chaotic, which is great. She loves her brother. She has a brother at home. Um, other than that, she's been really good.
Did
She loves her toys.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just gonna let you continue.
No, she likes her toys. She has this rope toy that she's torn into shreds but refuses to throw away. She's pretty good though.
So tell me, so you said that she seems to be doing pretty good. This event, did it seem to be traumatic for her at all, or is she kind of just the same old dog she was when y'all met her?
So I think there's definitely some. She definitely has some trauma from the event. She's. They think she's a little bit more hyperactive than she probably would have been. Um, but with the right course of medications and just to have some, you know, normal stability, I think has helped a lot. But she definitely has changed since we have gotten her. At first, you could tell she didn't want to hang out with anybody. She wanted to be by herself. She didn't really kind of attach to anybody right when we first saw her. Except for the vets, obviously, because she was there most of the time. But then after her burn started going away and everything, she completely changed. So she's doing a lot better now, though.
So, Mr. Donnie, I want to ask you, is this what really moved, or excuse me, hang on, let me find this question. What was going through your mind as you're going? I don't know the exact circumstances. Are you having to go into this burning building and rescue this dog, or did the dog run out?
No, the dog was in a kennel approximately 10 foot from the house. The house was fully engulfed, so it was well over 800 degrees in her kennel that she had to sit in and make it through that. And she did fine. She was ready to get out of the kennel. By the time we got there, very remote fire. So we weren't there when it started. We showed up when it was about done.
Yeah.
Uh, so she had to uh, withstand 800 degrees, give and take every bit of the way, because the wall of the house is right next to her kennel. Like I said, within 10 foot, it was gone. So it was ablaze. Even her kennel was melted.
Yeah, which was why she had the piece on her forehead. They were thinking she was trying to break out with her head the whole time, but she couldn't get through. So,
So, and I imagine, this is not the first time this has happened. I said I imagine, but I wanted to ask, is this the first time that you've had to go into, or excuse me, not go into a building, but had to save either an animal or a person from a fire?
Oh yeah, it's not the first time. No,
So
we've done it before.
So tell me what made this one what made this case a little bit different? It seems, this one is a little different because you ended up adopting this dog. What made this case a little bit different than past ones?
She made it that way, and her owner said we don't want her
on the scene.
on the scene.
Really?
And that I'm a dog lover, and I've got a pit bull of my own, and it's probably the most loyal dog I got. And I thought, man, there's no way people do this, and they do.
Yeah, and no hate to the people because they were older, but when we first started out talking to them, we just planned on taking her to the vet to get her fixed up and then obviously reuniting her with her family because that's who she's most used to. And at that time, they said that they were going to get rid of her anyways. So now would be the best time of anything to go ahead and get rid of the dog.
So what was it that moved you really? You didn't have to keep it. You could have, maybe left it with Miss Tanya at the shelter, but you chose not to. What was it that told you on the inside, I'm taking this dog home. This dog will be home with me.
She had a lot of character. I mean, she was super happy that whole time. Once again, she was in so much pain, but you would have never known. She literally just wanted to play the whole time she was there, and that was crazy to me after being burnt that bad. Even in the car driving by, she wanted to just play and have fun. But she always had a real big personality. It never left the whole time she was with us. And she really got well, or she, what is it called? She was good. She's good with Apollo. She's good with my other dog. So I was okay with taking her in. So that way there was no conflict. I was kind of scared at first because my other dog, he definitely was like a one dog type of household, but they got along great. We had no issues. So we just thought it would be a really good fit.
So tell me a little bit about sorry.
Where were you at? You're in general interviews. You're not
Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. Let's go walk.
I thought I had one more on here.
I'm out of comments.
So all in all, yeah, oh yeah, here it is. So what has I remember reading the release you sent, Miss Tanya, that it seems like the community has kind of got behind you guys and got behind the dog, and everybody seems to know who S'more is. So kind of tell me a little bit about what the community's reception to your guys' selflessness in adopting this dog, what that's been like.
So basically, when S'more first came in, our city council didn't really want to take over her care. So Fuzzy Hearts Rescue stepped up, took her in. Our vet completely took over her care.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Our internet went down.
Oh, it's all right, guys. I see y'all switched up the room a little bit.
Yes, we had to.
All right. Well, Miss Tanya, I believe you were about to say that she had a couple surgeries.
Yes, she
Okay.
had to have a couple of surgeries due to where she was burnt. At one point, to keep her from losing her eye, they had to actually sew her eye shut, and they had to, was it 2 or 3 times they did that?
They did it like partially
Mhm.
twice, and then they did like completely that one time.
Okay. So, of course, a lot of people were supporting Josie and the Hovicks for taking her in, making sure that they had the medication that was needed, because she did have to stay calm while she was healing, and she's quite a spastic little dog.
Yeah.
In case you can't tell, because we can't keep her still, she's running down the hall now. She's healed quite well. The skin around the eye is still rather tight. So she does still have a little bit of trouble blinking. It stays pretty wide open. But other than that, she's healed up pretty good.
Yeah.
She looks a little strange, but she's beautiful nonetheless.
You are absolutely right. She is a beautiful dog. I don't care what anyone says.
She is.
And it's starting
So
her hair to grow back, so that's cool.
Yeah, a little in some
Yeah.
places.
you said some of her hair is growing back?
Yeah. Some of the burns obviously were not as deep as we thought they
Right.
would.
Now on her face,
That
the
ain't
front,
going.
yes,
Yeah,
you will
that ain't
never
gonna go.
get hair on that one part of her face, but it doesn't matter.
And with her skin being so tight, they had to do debridement cuts a lot of the times,
It's
or some
okay.
relief cut. So they had to cut into her skin and like open her skin back up, so that way it could kind of not be so tight on her.
Man, okay, so
Yeah.
she's so how many surgeries in total?
Like 8 or 10. You think?
Yeah, 8 to 10, I believe.
Eight to
think like 8 or
10?
10.
Could I say 9?
Yeah, that'd be about
She
right.
had 4. Yeah, I got it. She had 4 burn debridements. She had 3 surgeries to her eye.
So that's 7
So
right
she had
there.
7. So I had
So 7.
7? Okay.
We were off. I like
All right. So I'm pretty much just gonna ask one last question that I would like each of you guys to answer. What has not only this whole experience meant to you guys, but what does it mean that you got a dog out of it? It seems all of you, I mean, she's a community dog. What does it mean to you guys? It's a selfless act to, bring the dog in, especially after, it's I don't want to say traumatized. It had a physically traumatizing event occur. And I mean, what does that mean to you guys? The whole experience to getting this beautiful dog and enjoying it, y'all seem to have a great time with the pup. So tell me a little bit about that.
So it definitely changed our life. Funny story, my husband actually wanted a Pitbull for a long time, and here we go. She's more his best friend than mine, even though I love her unconditionally, but she gravitates more towards my husband. And it's definitely been a change in the household, but we wouldn't have it any other way. She definitely has put our life a little bit in a different perspective. Obviously life can change in a second, but she's definitely helped us with a lot of things, and she's definitely made our life more chaotic in the great way. We definitely needed some chaos in our house. So we love her though, nonetheless. And we wouldn't change anything.
I think she more or less teaches you that no matter what you go through, you still have that strength and that perseverance. Plus, when they go out of town, I get to babysit.
Yeah.
Mr. Donnie, what's your thoughts on the
You don't have to see me because he's here. What I don't like to see a dog hurt. I don't like to see a dog neglected. So, we'll do our best to help anything we can. The dog was in a lot of pain. We didn't, the dog didn't look that bad when I was doing incident command and she was sitting by me. It was later on, and all we were going to do was take her and get her cleaned up, and, reunite her with her family. And then they said, we don't want her anymore. And that tugs at your heartstrings pretty good. And so we're going to do something with the dog. We can't leave it here. But so I think, to make a dog's life better is always good.
And I got one last question for you, sir. Among, I'd imagine you've got a lot of experience as a firefighter, saying that this certainly isn't the first time that you've dealt with this, but where does this specific instance with S'more and saving her life, where does it rank? I guess, in your memory of events that you have worked as a firefighter, where does it rank? Is it kind of one that you'll never forget, or, is it one that
It'll be tough to forget. I'm a fire investigator and a fire marshal also. So we go in when the dogs are deceased. We go in when people are deceased. So to see something good come out of this is always a good thing. We've had it. She's probably the worst one that's lived out of anything I've ever done. We pulled them out from underneath beds, and the elderly people will call and say, we can't leave until we find our dog. So we'll go back into the burning house And she said, if they, they're gonna be hiding here if they're in there. By God, that's where they're at. Go pull them out and bring them back outside and reunite them with their family and friends and all that. And that's always a cool thing. But I think S'more here just kind of tugged on the heartstrings a little more because they didn't want her. And
They weren't actively looking for it.
right.
Wow, guys. You guys are awesome. I hope y'all know that. If nobody's told y'all that today, y'all are all awesome.
And we wouldn't be remiss if we didn't mention a big thanks to the Fuzzy Hearts Rescue
Yes.
that stepped up, as well as Bruce Ferry Vet that put so much time and effort into care into getting her back to where she is now.
When we have fires like that, where we have multiple dogs like that, I mean, obviously we cannot take on the expense by ourselves. So the fact that we have the Fuzzy Hearts Rescue, like step in and help us with those, we can rescue a lot more dogs.
Oh yes, definitely.
But without them, we can't. I mean, we won't have the money for it. So we're definitely thankful that they stepped up.
Well, I'll make sure everybody knows that they can give thanks to Fuzzy Hearts as well, because I mean it's a group effort, That's especially when it comes to a situation like this. And that's all the questions I had for you guys. I had a request, and I don't know the exact layout of y'all's office, but would it hurt if I got the pup kind of like up on the desk and I could see her face a little bit?
Come on, Chubby girl.
Gotta have Katie pick her up and hold her to the side where all the damage is.
Here, come here. Can I see?
Hey there, girl.
Here, she can sit on.
Oh, you can put on your lap. There we go.
Hey there, S'more.
Oh,
Hey there, girl.
there you go. You show your little face. There she goes. That's the part that she got burnt the worst. That is right here. I see you. Look. Look at you. See your face up in her face. Look. Is you looking at yourself? Oh, there you go. Oh, there
Hi.
you go.
Jeez.
Thank you.
Oh, is you giving kisses?
Thank you.
Oh, you
I
did
know.
not. She missed you, I guess. Oh, see.
Bring up the whole-
Oh.